Good morning, everyone. I'm here with a visitor.
What's up?
What's up? He made the tryouts yesterday for what? Baseball. And got the call last night that he was on the team. Woo-hoo! We're very excited. So, all that playing baseball out on the lawn has paid off. Yes. Huh? Yeah, I heard you did really, really good. I'd say you did the best.
My reward is to go to my friend's house.
And then he gets to go to his friend's house today. Well, that's cool. And we talked about something, didn't we? Here. What?
And I'm the pitch. Kid league.
Did you?
I can pitch. I can steal. I can bunt.
You can do everything. Yeah. See.
It's kind of like now real baseball.
Real baseball. This is you're getting into the real, all the rules, huh? Yeah.
I need a beard.
So we've been watching again what America's Funniest Videos, which I don't know why they consider some of them so funny, because I don't think they're funny. They hurt me just watching. But again, so we talked about the ones again where the kids, at Christmas time, some kids, and this boy happened to be that we watched about his age, and he unpacks a roll of what? Toilet paper, and he just makes this face and throws it. And I thought, man, if that were my kid, I'd let him go without toilet paper for a month, and he'd have to use his hand, right, and water to clean himself up. See if he's not going to start to appreciate a roll of toilet paper as a present. So we were talking about this morning on how, right? And that boy was old enough to know that was probably just a little, joke that the parents played on him, right? But the reaction, I'd say, nah. So we talked a little bit about what to actually really be grateful for, and the presents that children that have parents like he does receive every day, all through the year, right? Yes, by just what? Having what? A home, enough food on the table, cars that get them wherever, the love of the parents, all, and I don't know what. Huh? Yes. Anywho. Yeah, kind of disturbing to watch children in the way that they react to something like a toothbrush.
If I got a girlfriend, I'd be like, here, Rebby. What's my unicorn down here?
I have no idea. Is the one yours and one Abby's?
No, it was both mine.
They're both yours? Where did you get them? How did you get them?
This guy won 40 of these at vacation. He had 2 bags full of them, and I just picked 2.
Oh, I
Two
see.
unicorns.
2 unicorns. You have 2 unicorns.
One is named Elliot, and one is named Addie.
Aw, twins.
Yeah.
Got twin unicorn stuffed animals. Cute. All right, let's get going in here in Maccabees. And we have a birthday today. Right? Your friend's birthday today.
Not the friends that I'm going to, the friends that's coming here.
All right.
I have 2.
Yes. So, and then the party will be on the weekend. Yeah. Okay. So we have a birthday to celebrate. Yay, 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 yay. Okay. 9.
We should probably surprise him. We gotta hide and say, surprise!
Oh, let's do that. Yeah.
Should I be like on the stairs?
Yeah, we'll all hide when he comes.
Or behind the tree.
He's going to look around and go, where are they all? I guess they're downstairs, and then we can come out and say, happy birthday.
He'll see me though.
We could do that.
He'll see me.
Well, then we'll have to hide really well. We might have to hide under the couch, under the blanket, and then, woo, take the blanket up and stand up. Happy birthday.
Oh, Grozy.
Somebody smell popcorn.
I don't smell it. I hear it.
That was not me.
It was.
It was. It was not.
It came from over there.
came from over there sounded a lot like coming from over here. We have a saying in Switzerland. Wer furzt und burps braucht nicht zum Arzt. So, if you toot and burp, you don't need to see the doctor. Means your insides are working well. All right, we're in the first book of Maccabees, 10. We'll see how long you last. Sounds like you need to go to the bathroom pretty soon.
No.
Alexander Ballas competes, who the heck is that now, for Jonathan's support and appoints him high priest. In the year 160, now we're going back, Alexander, son of Antiochus Epiphanes, raised, wait a minute, in the year 160, is this not BC anymore? Is this after Christ? No. This must be still before. See, this is just, what is this? Give me exactement. Raised an army and occupied Ptolemais. He was well received and there inaugurated his reign. On hearing this, King Demetrius assembled a very large army and marched off to do battle with him. Demetrius furthermore sent Jonathan a most conciliatory letter, promising to promote him in rank, for, as he said, we had better move first to come to terms with these people before he makes common cause with Alexander against us. Wait a minute, weren't they against each other before? And where are the Romans now here again? So now they're hanging out with the Greeks again? You know what? These people don't make any sense. He will not have forgotten all the wrongs we inflicted on him and his brothers and on his nation. Oh, well, here's an admission. He even authorized him to raise an army, to manufacture arms, and to describe himself as his ally, and ordered the hostages in the citadel to be surrendered to him. Jonathan went straight to Jerusalem, read the letter in the hearing of the whole people, and of the men in the citadel. They were terrified when they heard that the king had given him authority to raise an army. The men in the citadel surrendered the hostages to Jonathan, who handed them back to their parents. So they were what, children? Jonathan then took up residence in Jerusalem, began the rebuilding and restoration of the city. He ordered those responsible for the work to build the walls of the defenses round Mount Zion of squared stone blocks to make them stronger, and this was done. The foreigners in the fortresses built by Bacchides abandoned them, one after another leaving his post to go back to his own country. Only at Besser were a few left of those who had forsaken the law and the precepts, since this was their refuge. Gosh, this, I have to honestly tell you, this doesn't even make any sense to me. I have no idea I'm completely lost on what, when, how, who was all there, who they're allied with now. It doesn't make any sense. King Alexander heard of all the promises Demetrius had sent to Jonathan, and he was also given an account of the battles and exploits of this man and his brothers, and of the hardships they had endured. Shall we ever find another man like him? He exclaimed. We must make him our friend and ally. He therefore wrote him a letter addressing him in these terms. Oh, everybody wants to be friends now? Everybody's tired of fighting? Probably people are starving again. They don't have enough men to fight. Oh, come on, may I tell you what? King Alexander to his brother Jonathan. What? King Alexander to his brother Jonathan. Greetings. Okay. Since when have they become brothers? You have been brought to our notice as a strong man of action and as someone who deserves to be our friend. Well, that's interesting how they word this here. Accordingly, we have today appointed you high priest of your nation with the title of friend of the king. He also sent him a purple robe and a golden crown, and you are to study our interests and maintain friendly relations with us. Jonathan put on the sacred vestments in the 7th month of the year 160 on the Feast of Shelters. He then set about raising troops and manufacturing arms in quantity. A high priest in a purple robe and a golden crown goes around and does what? What do you think, Ben? Is raising troops and manufacturing arms in quantity a way to maintain friendly relations with everyone?
No.
No. Wow, an 8-year-old knows that. Almost 9. You're so close to it.
4 weeks.
That's too bad. My goodness. A letter from Demetrius the First to Jonathan. Demetrius was displeased when he heard what had happened. About what now? What have we been doing, he said, for Alexander to forestall us in winning the friendship of the Jews and so improving his own position? I too shall address an appeal to them, offering them advancement and riches as an inducement to support me. And he wrote to them as follows. So here is King Demetrius sends Jonathan a conciliatory letter. Then here is King Alexander to his brother Jonathan. Okay, then Demetrius hears about that and goes, okay, guys, seriously? This sounds to me like a bad play on a playground with children who don't know any better yet. And what? Is this how you form a gang of bullies? Against whom exactly? Well, anyway, okay, you know what? None of it sounds true, okay? In a sense of on how they're dealing with each other. The letters that they're writing, this and that, veiled threats, one manipulates the other in a way, and it seems like Jonathan's just kind of going with it, which then he does whatever he wants anyway. What? King Demetrius to the Jewish nation, greetings. We have heard how you have kept your agreement with us and have maintained friendly relations with us and have not gone over to our enemies. Okay, what's the reason Demetrius is writing this letter? Okay, oh my gosh, ugh. And it has given us great satisfaction. If you now continue to keep faith with us, we shall make you a handsome return for what you do on our behalf. We shall accord you many exemptions and grant you privileges. What kind of exemptions? What were the Jews under with all of these people trying to make friends with them? Right? And grant you privileges that what? Who didn't have? Henceforth I release you and exempt all the Jews from the tribute. Oh, the salt dues and the crown levies. And whereas I am entitled to 1/3 of the grain and 1/2 of the fruit of the trees, I release from this levy, from today and for the future, Judea and the 3 districts annexed to it from Samaria, Galilee, from this day henceforward in perpetuity, Jerusalem will be sacred and exempt with its territory from tithes and dues. Now, this would be interesting on how this really, truly, actually came to be, because now we're having Israel, right, in the middle of 2 other great nations, it seems like, with kings who are making Israel what? Neutral. That's interesting. Consider that very interesting because I'm from Switzerland, and that is considered, was for a long time, a neutral country where nations would go and have their meetings because it seems to be safe enough to do so. Oh, and kept all their money too. Okay, just saying.
Mommy gave up $1,000 coin.
Huh?
Mommy gave up to get in a doorway, and it was $1,000 coin.
Is that right? Oh.
She had to get through. I think she was in like London. No.
What are you talking about?
So she needed a quarter to get through.
Oh yeah, that was from Canada to
Yeah,
yeah.
$1,000
They went
coin.
to see the. I talked about that in another video on how ridiculous the system works between the Canadian side and the American side when you go and see the Niagara Falls, and on how that. Okay, just saying that they're two different sides and how this was dealt with and how my daughter almost got stuck on the Canadian side, couldn't go back to the American side to get back to the car because of a quarter, right? Yes. Oh my gosh, yeah.
And she gave him $1,000 coin to get across.
No.
And then someone gave her.
Yeah, no, somebody finally came and gave her there was one quarter that didn't work. And finally someone came and gave her a better quarter that would work to open the door. Her friend was already on the other side. Okay. That came to your mind with this? Yeah. Oh, good one. All right. I relinquish control of the citadel in Jerusalem and make it over to the high priest so that he may man it with a garrison of his own choosing. Every Jewish person taken from Judea into captivity in any part of my kingdom, I set free without ransom and decree that all will be exempt from taxes, even on their livestock. Oh my gosh. Something definitely went on there. Well, that would have been interesting. I wonder if the Roman, as an ally, had anything to do with that. Everybody just trying to bow out gracefully without... I have no idea. This is a weird one, but it sounds good. All festivals, Sabbaths, new moons, and days of special observance, and the 3 days before and 3 days after a festival will be days of exemption and quittance for all the Jews in my kingdom, and no one will have the right to exact payment from or to molest any of them for any matter whatsoever. Well, wait a minute. He's already... Okay, then some things are still in place. What is it? Otherwise, that would not be necessary in there. Okay. Jews will be enrolled in the king's forces. To the number of 30,000 men and receive maintenance on the same scale as the rest of the king's forces. Here it comes, the conditions for it. Some of them will be stationed in the king's major fortresses, and from among others, appointments will be made to positions of trust in the kingdom. So for stability, okay. Their officers and commanders will be appointed from their own number and will live under their own laws as the king has prescribed for Judea. As regards to the 3 districts annexed to Judea from the province of Samaria, these will be integrated into Judea and considered as coming under one governor, obeying the high priest's authority and no other. Ptolemies and the land thereto pertaining I present to the sanctuary in Jerusalem to meet the necessary expenses of public worship, and I make a personal grant of 15,000 silver shekels annually chargeable to the royal revenue from appropriate places. I wonder what those appropriate places are. And the entire surplus which has not been paid in by the officials as in previous years will henceforth to be paid over by them for work on the temple. So here is the thing with this, okay? This sounds really good. Oh my gosh, finally, Israel, or at least the surrounding Jerusalem and surrounding whatever, are getting what? This sounds really good. Yet, what are the Israelites becoming a part of here as well? And other peoples, well, why not just give everybody their freedom? Everybody not to have to... Why should I have to pay for a king's palace and his wives and concubines and kids to be fed and I don't know what, and nifty clothes and I don't know what. I'm just saying. Why does anybody have to pay for that? Most of us go to work to have anything. Right? What, kings are, well, they rule. Rule how? We already know it. That never really works out. Right? And then they have to have all them other people help them rule. Hello? Okay. Who are also profiting from what? All the common people. I'm just saying. So here they're being pulled into, and I'm hoping, I don't know, I'm hoping that Jonathan will realize that they're being pulled into being a part of the upper hierarchy, and also doing what? Oppressing others by this king promising, oh, we're going to give you 15,000 silver shekel, whatever, for you, blah, 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 and then the temple, blah, 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 and we're going to get it from the appropriate places. Appropriate places exactly where? Where are you going to get all this money? From whom? You see? Sounds nice, doesn't it? Sounds good. Hey, come on now. We got peace coming. But at the cost of what and whom? This is the sad thing. This is still going on like this in the world. Yeah, we're living great. At the cost of whom, though, exactly? Huh? Yes? My coffee turning on. As regards the building and the restoration of the sanctuary, the expense of the work will be met from the royal exchequer. The construction of the walls of Jerusalem and the fortification of the perimeter will also be a charge on the royal exchequer, as also the reconstruction of other city walls in Judea. They're going to send slaves to do that? Okay, you know what? I'm not even... I say, it sounds really good. It all sounds really good. Sounds like something, again, just up here. And Jonathan, I guess, real happy to be high priest now. Jonathan rejects Demetrius' offers, death of Demetrius. When Jonathan and the people heard these proposals, they put no faith in them and refused to accept them, remembering what great wrongs Demetrius had done to Israel and how cruelly he had oppressed them. Okay, I got to give that to Jonathan and whoever. They decided in favor of Alexander, since he seemed to offer the better inducements of the two, and they became his constant allies. King Alexander now mustered large forces and advanced against Demetrius. The two kings met in battle. Alexander's army was routed, and Demetrius pursued him and defeated his troops. Oh. He continued the battle with vigor until sunset. Demetrius himself, however, was killed the same day. Oh, wow, that's a long one. Look at this. Look at I started to read all this and this here, man. Look, there's another leaf in here. He has a ton of leaves. I don't know. I have to just... I guess I had a year or two, but I just ended up collecting all these leaves. Okay, Jonathan. Not a dumb guy, then. But still, he allied himself with... And sounds like there were great casualties. I'm not going to hear that now. Demetrius seems to be the stronger one. Did die, but... all the casualties, right? Again. Alexander's marriage with, Cleopatra. Jonathan as commander-in-chief and governor-general. Alexander sent ambassadors to Ptolemy, king of Egypt, with this message. Since I have returned to my kingdom, have ascended the throne of my ancestors, have gained control by crushing Demetrius, and so recovered our country, Alexander's army was routed, and Demetrius pursued him and defeated his troops. Then how did he end up in control? No, that doesn't seem to compute. For I fought him, and we crushed both him and his army. And I now occupy his royal throne. Let us now make a treaty of friendship. Give me your daughter in marriage. As your son-in-law, I shall give you and her presents which are worthy of you." Okay. King Ptolemy replied as follows: "Happy the day when you return to the land of your ancestors and ascended the royal throne. I shall at once do for you what your letter proposes, but meet me at Ptolemais, so that we can see one another, and I shall become your father-in-law as you have asked." Ptolemy left Egypt with his daughter Cleopatra and reached Ptolemais in the year 162. Wait a minute, that has to be after
Dun, dun, dun.
well, this has to be after the birth of Christ. That's already after Jesus' death too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Sure sounds like it. That's not the Old Testament anymore. Oh, you got me. This is weird. King Alexander went to meet him, and Ptolemy gave him the hand of his daughter Cleopatra and celebrated her wedding in Ptolemais with great magnificence, as kings do. Oh, okay. King Alexander then wrote to Jonathan to come and meet him. Jonathan made his way in state to Ptolemais and met the two kings. He gave them and their friends silver and gold and many gifts and made a favorable impression on them. Hear me. A number of scoundrels, the pest of Israel, combined to denounce him, but the king paid no attention to them. In fact, the king commanded that Jonathan should be divested of his own garments and clothed him in the purple, which was done. The king then seated him by his side and said to his officers, "Escort him into the center of the city and proclaim that no one is to bring charges against him on any count. No one is to molest him for any reason." And so, when his accusers saw the honor done him by this proclamation, and Jonathan himself invested in the purple, they all fled. Why were they complaining? It doesn't say. The king did him the honor of enrolling him among the first friends and appointed him commander-in-chief and governor-general. Jonathan then returned to Jerusalem in peace and gladness. I have no idea what to make of this. Demetrius II, Apollonius, governor of Seoli, Syria, defeated by Jonathan. In the year 165, Demetrius, son of Demetrius, came from Crete to the land of his ancestors. When King Alexander heard of it, he was plunged into gloom and retired to Antioch. What? Why? What was so terrible? Demetrius confirmed Apollonius as governor of Seol, Syria. The latter assembled a large force, encamped at Yumnia, and sent the following message to Jonathan the high priest: "You are entirely alone in rising against us." Oh. Because the King Alexander had retired to Antioch, so the ally got missing. "You are entirely alone in rising against us, and now I find myself ridiculed and reproached on your account. Why do you use your authority to our disadvantage in the mountains? If you are so confident in your forces, come down now to meet us on the plain, and let us take down..." Wait. "Come down now to meet us on the plain, and let us take each other's measure there." Hi, honey.
Hi.
Oh my gosh, you got your triplets with you. "And let us take each other's measure there. On my side, I have the strength of the towns." Can't get him in the mountains. That's very difficult to do. Ask and learn who I am, and who the others supporting us are. You will hear that you cannot stand up to us, since your ancestors were twice routed on their own ground. nor will you now be able to withstand the cavalry or so great an army on the plain, where there is neither rock, nor stone, nor refuge of any kind. Ha! What? Well, if you want him to come down from the mountains, you shouldn't be threatening him that you're going to win farther down in the plains. If I were Jonathan, I'd say, well, I guess I'm not coming down then. On hearing Apollonius' words, Jonathan's spirit was roused. He picked 10,000 men. Call a man chicken, and he wants to prove he's a rooster. Oh my gosh, hello. He picked 10,000 men and left Jerusalem, and his brother Simon joined him with reinforcements. He drew up his forces outside Joppa, the citizens having shut him out, since Apollonius had a garrison in Joppa. When they began to attack, the citizens took fright and opened the gates, and Jonathan occupied Joppa. Hearing this, Apollonius marshaled 3,000 cavalry and a large army, and made his way to Azotus as thought, intending to march through, while in fact pressing on into the plain, since he had a great number of cavalry on which he was relying. Jonathan pursued him as far as Azotus, where the armies joined battle. Now Apollonius had left 1,000 horsemen in concealment behind them. Jonathan knew of this enemy position behind him. The horsemen surrounded his army, firing their arrows into his men from morning till evening, but the troops stood firm, as Jonathan had ordered. How do you stand firm if you're dying or getting shot by an arrow? Once the cavalry was exhausted, Simon sent his own troops into attack against the phalanx, which he cut to pieces and routed. The cavalry scattered over the plain and fled to Azotus, where they took sanctuary in Beth Dagon, the temple of their idol. Jonathan, however, set fire to Azotus and the surrounding towns, plundered them, and burned down the temple of Dagon with all the fugitives who had crowded into it. The enemy losses, counting those who fell by the sword and those burned to death, totaled about 8,000 men. Jonathan then left and pitched camp outside Ascalon, where the citizens came out to meet him with great ceremony. Jonathan then returned to Jerusalem with his followers, laden with booty. In the event when King Alexander heard what had happened, he awarded Jonathan further honors. He sent him the golden brooch of the kind customary presented to the king's cousins, and gave him proprietary rights over Ekron and the land adjoining it. Good morning, babies. Everybody down here now.
Except for Mommy and Daddy and Johnny.
Who is it? Abby, look at the door. Oh, okay. Okay. This is amazing again, and how they wrote down so many things and knew exactly, and okay, what, you know what? Not even. And it's very confusing. So, okay. Oh, you know what? Ugh. Wheeling and dealing. This is what I call wheeling and dealing. One way, the other way, however it suits one, and then this and that. Okay, I don't even know what to say to anyone. This was a long read. I don't really have a whole lot to say. It's a little later today than I usually do this. So, and I got to get ready for a birthday. We're going to make something on the door. Oh no, we're going to surprise him. That's right. I guess we're just going to have to read about all the wars, this and that. I don't see, again, where's God in all this? I'm not sure. I can't tell. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's what people are doing, whatever they want to do. They'll have one guy up there. It's all talks about, mainly about all the, right? Yeah, what's going on with the upper crust of whoever has this or that, and then the manipulations and the promises made, and yeah, or I don't know. I said wheeling and dealing. That's what I hear here, and whatever. And what time frame are we here in? This sounds like after or I'm missing something there, right? Where it was actually, I said, okay, Jesus wasn't born at the year 2000, at the year 0. Okay? It went in a few hundred years. And so, is that it? I've heard that before. So, not sure. Right? It's confusing. Right? What are we actually believing? What is actually true? It deserves somewhat studying. I don't know. People maybe don't care. A lot of things I really don't care about what's going on out there, due to the fact I can't do anything. There's nothing I can do about it, and it sounds silly. A lot of it sounds just silly to me and what's going on, and that is that. Right? So, is it going to make any kind of difference in my life? No. If I know or not know exactly, no. Does that make any kind of difference? No. But here's the thing. This is the Bible. It's supposed to be about God's word, God's way, God's ideal. Right? Yes? How to get back to that? Since the time of Adam and Eve? I'd say, yeah. The reputation of God, don't pull God into war, because he's got no place in all of that. None, zero. What is a high priest doing? Being what? The general, the governor. What are high priests? According to the covenant, a Levite, the Levites. Is Jonathan a Levite? Maybe he is. I don't know. What is he doing? What is he supposed to do according to the covenant that the Israelites have with God? Just saying. Okay. Well, I'll leave you with this. May Heavenly Parent bless and protect you, embrace you with love, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.